Welcome to another episode of the Bandage Podcast, a weekly wrap-up of the most trending healthcare news. Each week, we'll discuss the latest in healthcare, health IT, and compliance.
In this week's episode, we discuss going to jail for TB, the rate of diabetes in children increasing, and the hidden dangers of the keto diet. Let's wrap things up. It's episode 176 for the week of March 13th. I'm Matt Moneypenny.
And I'm Albert Battistelli.
Before we get started, our diagnosis code of the week is R14.3, flatulence causing injury. This is insane.
That is really, really wild.
This is insane.
Like,
I heard
of like ripping something potentially. Like,
I heard that this diagnosis code increases when people are leaving Buffalo Wild Wings, specifically.
Gross.
But correlation doesn't always equal causation, as we know. So
that's true.
Could be completely unrelated. It's probably not. But anyways, that is insane. Let's get into the news. First up, we've got tuberculosis follow-up. A U.S. woman diagnosed with the highly contagious bacterial infection tuberculosis has been found in civil contempt after repeated refusals to follow orders of treatment. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of the unidentified 42-year-old woman who will be taken to a, quote, specially designated facility at the Pierce County Jail for isolation testing and treatment. That last resort came after a year of working with the family and community members to encourage the woman to comply with therapies targeting the disease. Going to the court for the 16th time, the woman was finally given three options: take medication, stay at home, or go to jail. Well, that is an insane story.
That is a wild story. You'd think you'd want to, like, take care of your TB, but apparently she's just happy to.
The fact that it took 16 times.
Yep.
Before this woman was presented with these options is out of control. That's out of control.
Yep. Especially because it's dangerous. You're out there spreading it. It's highly contagious.
This isn't the stomach flu. This is tuberculosis.
Right. This is not.
This is like medieval era. Like, whoa! Like you read this stuff in the history books, kind of stuff.
Yep.
Like wiped out civilizations. Crap. That's insane.
Yikes.
That's out of control. But it's also a follow-up from a previous episode. So good thing we were following that, because this is absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm. It's wild. You'd think her family could have gotten her to go do something. I don't know. Maybe they didn't care. Maybe she doesn't have it. I don't know.
What a wild story that is.
For real. All right, next up, diabolical diabetes. New findings from researchers at Wake Forest University School of Medicine confirm that the rates of type 1 and type 2 diabetes continue to increase in children and young adults. Non-Hispanic, Black, and Hispanic children and young adults also had higher incidence rates of diabetes. The annual incidence of type 1 diabetes was 22.2 per 100,000 in 2017 to 2018, and 17.9 per 100,000 for type 2 diabetes. The findings are from the final report from the Search for Diabetes in Youth study, the largest surveillance effort of diabetes among youth under the age of 20 conducted in the U.S. to date.
Whoa, that is a lot. It's a lot of diabetes.
That is
a lot of different types. Just kidding. There's only two types.
There's two types.
I don't really know what to say about this.
It's not great that it's increasing, but I wonder if it has anything to do with like diet. Like, is our diet just getting worse?
100%.
More stuff that's our bodies just can't process sugar like they used to. I don't know. With that, though, hopefully treatments are increasing or like getting better, so that people who are diagnosed with it will have something to,
Yeah, that is. Whoa. Yeah. I mean, it definitely has to do with diet. That's for sure. You're definitely right about that, Mr. Albert.
Thanks.
And hopefully we can get this to decrease. Speaking of decreasing, keto is killing you.
Wow.
Decreasing lifespan is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, nice transition there. Yeah, that was good.
People who follow a, quote, keto-like diet of high-fat and low-carbohydrate foods may be at a greater risk for cardiovascular events like heart attacks and strokes. A specific study looked at over 300 participants who had reported following a diet consisting of 25% or less of daily calories from carbohydrates and more than 45% of calories from fat, compared to the health information of around 1,200 people who eat a standard diet. The research participants on a keto-like diet had increased levels of LDL or bad cholesterol and higher risk for heart disease. The current dietary guidelines for Americans call for eating less than 10% of calories per day from saturated fats and less than 10% of calories from added sugars, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Those diet fads, man. It's hard
Yeah,
to...
man. I feel like this is something that everyone was kind of worried about at first.
Uh-huh. Now there's
And
proof.
they were like, maybe this increases the heart risk. And it seems like this study is proving that it was true.
Right.
Ketosis may not be good doses
Yeah. Be
for
careful.
your badosis.
Consult with your doctor before doing anything
Consult with
radical in terms of your diet.
Consult with your doctosis
Your doctosis.
before you go to ketosis. I feel like I'm creating some sort of infomercial.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
an
not sure what's happening.
like the anti-keto
Right.
society or something.
Right. Pro carb.
Pro carb.
I'm not anti-ketosis. I'm just pro carb.
I'm a carbohydrate truther.
Right.
Anyways, with that, let's go to our next segment.
BREACH, Breach Patrol. It's a breach! All of the latest cybersecurity breaches.
Welcome to We Told We Talk About the World. What did I just say? No one knows until this day. I've been doing this for episode upon episode. But what do we got?
Are you chicken? Chick-fil-A announced last week that app users were subjected to a data breach that exposed account information and allowed hackers to make orders using linked debit and credit cards. The breach broke into users' accounts, giving the bad actors possible access to account information, including your home address, email address, Chick-fil-A One membership number and mobile pay number, masked credit card and debit card number, and the amount of Chick-fil-A credit. The company said it took action as soon as they discovered the incident. Well, I tell you what, home address, whatever, email address, whatever, but don't you dare take my Chick-fil-A One membership number. Like, that's the most, that's the one I want the most.
I swear, if anyone gets their hands on my Chick-fil-A One membership number, so help me God.
Right?
I can't take that seriously.
No, me neither. This is just ridiculous. I like that they ordered Chick-fil-A too. The bad actors allowed hackers to make orders.
Of course they did.
The worst
Hackers
thing they
want
can
their
do
food.
is just order some chicken.
Like, oh yeah, I got this person's email, but while you're there, can we get a spicy deluxe?
Can I get a spicy deluxe
Medium.
with some cheese sauce and the waffle fries? All right.
I like to have the Polynesian sauce. You like Polynesian, Mike? No, I'm a big
I'm good.
I'm a big Chick-fil-A sauce guy myself. Anyways, criminal crisis. The Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Commission on February 21st notified employees of a data breach serious enough to warrant a criminal investigation. The OLCC initially discovered the breach on August 1st, and the notice to the employees says that the OLCC staffers improperly exported private information, including in some cases social security numbers and driver's license numbers, to the employee's personal email account. It's unclear why. The notice to employees says there's no evidence the personal information has been misused and there was, quote, no malicious intent.
Okay.
So this just seems like a big oopsie.
Big oops.
Oopsie.
Big oops, but criminal investigation. So even the oopsie can launch
That is
something.
true. That is true. I wonder if it's just because it's cannabis related. I wonder if it's just highly looked upon.
It has to be.
And it's like, hey, if you make any mistake at all, we're shutting this operation down. You hear me?
We're coming for you.
We're shutting you down.
Shutting you down.
Right. Oh, that's crazy.
Yep.
Hopefully they continue to determine that there was no malicious intent and it was just one big oopsie.
Just a big oopsie. Everybody's fine, hopefully. We'll see. All right, last up. Whose fault is it? Coinbase Global Inc. says it's not responsible for losses stemming from a security breach, according to an account holder who sued in an attempt to recover $96,000 that he says was stolen from him. The defendant claims he received a text from his mobile carrier in May describing a SIM card change request that he hadn't made. When he restored service to his iPhone the next day with a new card, Ferguson said the account holder said that he learned that almost his entire life savings was gone from his Coinbase account. The defendant argues that under state and federal laws, Coinbase bears responsibility for unauthorized withdrawals. but the company has refused to reimburse him, saying in an email that security of passwords and two-factor authentication codes are his responsibility, according to the lawsuit.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't know what to unpack here, because this is, blockchain is a newer thing, as we all know. We've heard about it. It's been jammed down our throats for the last 5 years.
Right.
So I don't know if this was a bank. Let's say if it was viewed by a bank, if it was an FDIC bank,
Sure.
what would happen? Do you think that they would
have to reimburse?
Recover? Yeah, right.
I would think.
I would too, but I'm not sure. I don't know anybody, thankfully, and I've never experienced that amount of lossage in my account. So hopefully that never happens to anybody. But
right,
this is definitely a big case, because I think it's gonna set the precedent for blockchain. So I imagine they're gonna make an example out of this case. I don't think Coinbase is gonna come out unscathed.
No, for sure. It also it's just kind of a bad response to be like, well, this is on you, buddy. You didn't. I don't know. We had a security breach, but it's your fault that you didn't have two-factor authentication codes or something like that. Like, I don't know. That's
I don't know. I'm sure that there's something in their user terms that says that, but if that holds up in court for something like this, I don't believe it will. But
no,
we'll have to follow it.
We'll see.
And that's it for this week's wrap up of healthcare news. I'm Matt Moneypenny.
And I'm Albert Battistelli.
And we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Bandage Podcast produced by eTactics.